Afternoon, the one which has been dominant in Europe for the past 12 months, or the one which has struggled miserably in the league. You know, this should really be a side that's gained confidence with back-to-back wins, and I think the major reason is the manager now seems to have a settled side in his mind. They seem to be consistent, and they certainly seem to be more of an emphasis on getting forward and attacking other sides. We seem to constantly talk about the impact Steven Gerrard has on this side, and there's every reason for that. But of course, the likes of Alonso, Sissoko and Garcia have certainly made better contributions of late, and in Djibril Cissé seems to have found a player, the manager, that does get important goals, and can he continue that today?
Well, they had the horrors on Halloween. Have Aston Villa got any fireworks for their fans on November the 5th? I don't suppose there are too many in the Liverpool ranks who will know about Guy Fawkes and the gunpowder plot. And this team trying to do what would be a first for Rafa Benitez in his time in England, that is to win a midweek European clash and the following weekend come up with a victory in the Premiership. October was a great month in the Premiership. The goals ratio up to over 2.7 per game. This is the first game in November. It's here for you on Prem Plus. It is Aston Villa against Liverpool, and it's live right after the break.
Here we go then, Aston Villa against Liverpool with Brian Marwood and Martin Tyler.
Well, we're underway here for the first time this season with the winter ball, the high visibility football, which is now to be a regular feature of Premiership football until the end of February. Aston Villa are close to a crossroads, you feel, in the boardroom and maybe on the pitch as well. And they're facing a Liverpool team that put together a couple of good results, but still, under Rafa Benitez, haven't performed with any great consistency away from home in the Premiership, whether there's been midweek European action as an explanation or not. 23 away games since he took over the job, Rafa Benitez, in the league, and only 5 wins. Room for improvement. Xabi Alonso and Jamie Carragher. Kevin Phillips would be delighted to be reunited with Milan Baros. It's only the 3rd time that David O'Leary's been able to field them. Baros had a goal early on his debut against Blackburn. Phillips got the winner here in Birmingham, across town at St Andrews. Those are the only 2 Premiership victories for Aston Villa so far.
Makings of a good combination, these two, and I think Phillips will just drop a little bit deeper, Martin. Barros will play on the shoulder of the 2 centre-backs and look to try and use his pace and get in behind, and Phillips has the ability to pick him out with some clever play.
Morientes and Cissé, 2 strikers for Rafa Benitez away from home. Steven Gerrard, as expected, on the right. Luis Garcia, who can play in a whole variety of positions, starting on the left. Cissé's got 10 goals this season, only a couple of them in the league, but he has got that touch, and at the moment he's edging out Peter Crouch, who would have loved to have had an opportunity. He might get an opportunity later on to get his first Liverpool goal on a ground that he knows pretty well from his time as an Aston Villa player.
I think it's been easy for Peter Crouch or Djibril Cissé or Morientes at times, Martin, because of the way that the formation Rafa Benitez has tended to play for the majority of the season with only 1 up top. You know, I think any striker will tell you, it's hugely beneficial when you've got another body there just to take the weight and the strain, and I think that Liverpool will certainly benefit with playing 2 up there.
1 or 2 little alterations in midfield for David O'Leary since Monday. Steve Davis is playing on the right-hand side, Milner across to the left. They've been 2 of the more consistent players Villa have been able to field since Milner, of course, came to Villa Park from Newcastle. It's on loan here in the Midlands. Cisse. Melberg. The ball just zipping across him a little quicker than he thought. He's hooked it away from immediate danger. The referee, incidentally, is Steve Bennett. He's got an international commitment next weekend. He takes charge of France against Germany, which is a great chance to show that he might be in the reckoning for World Cup selection. Sorensen back in full working order, taking that free kick. Forward by Finnan. Off goes Cisse. Liam Ridgewell and Olof Melberg have been rather in the firing line, not by name, but David O'Leary's been talking about needing to strengthen in the centre of the defence, so I guess they know what direction the criticism is aimed. Here's Luis Garcia. Working with Morientes. Cisse just looking across in the middle to make sure he stays onside. Gerrard has strayed from the right. Here's Finnan. Xabi Alonso. It's good passing this from Liverpool. And a decent strike at the end of it from Luis Garcia.
What a goal that would have been. Terrific passing there. And Villa couldn't match the quality that Liverpool showed. You know, they zipped the ball around on a decent surface and clever play. Alonso very much in the thick of the action, and then Garcia isn't too far away with his strike on goal, and that's a little early warning for Aston Villa. It's a Villa side that have been very suspect defensively, will be nervous, edgy, and Liverpool will hope to play on that fact very early in this game.
McCann, recently restored to the team after his date with the surgeon, not a knee problem. Away by Risa. Melberg. Baros. Backer. Another well-known to David O'Leary from their time together at Leeds United. Davis. Out by the head of Herpia. Davis again on.
You see what they're searching for.
Phillips.
Yeah, they see what they're searching for, Martin. You know, the fact that they know Baros is a willing runner up there, and they always likes to get in any space left behind, and they're just trying to knock little balls in behind the two centre-backs, and hopeful that pace that Baros does have will prove beneficial.
There's a precedent for Milan Baros. The last time Villa beat Liverpool here in the Premiership, both goals in a 2-1 win were scored by a former Liverpool striker, Stan Collymore. That was John Gregory's first match as manager of Aston Villa. He's still here today, and the tie looks as though it's claret and blue.
Has he not got rid of his previous club tie since he was manager here?
Of course, John Gregory played for Aston Villa. He served Brian Little as a coach for Aston Villa and then got the top job himself. So, it's surprising if the allegiances are still there. Morientes. And really forcing their way to get across Ridgewell by the near post. Back by Finnan. Collected by Sissoko here. Xabi Alonso.
Very nearly a clever ball, wasn't it, from Alonso?
Well, if we're talking about John Gregory's first match, this is David O'Leary's 100th in charge of this West Midlands club, a club with such a proud tradition. But marking time, a little bit too safe in the policy. Those are the sort of things that are being said about the present-day Aston Villa. shouldn't forget that it can be a minefield financially, football at this level. And Doug Ellis has kept things safe and sensible and on an even footing. And his contribution, when he does eventually bow out, should not be underestimated.
The problem is, though, Martin, that the expectations of this football club is one that they really need to push on and contend for a top 4 spot, and unless you invest in the team, that's not going to happen.
Here's Bakker. Missed virtually all of last season with knee trouble. Delighted to get a chance to play again, and to play again in the Premiership, the Norwegian.
A good player, didn't he, a few years ago when he played at Leeds United? Remember those surging runs from the heart of midfield, and a very powerful player. He'll be hopeful, and certainly David will be hopeful he can get back to that type of form that made him one of the most outstanding players in the country.
Baros. Another factor of Aston Villa that isn't always appreciated is how they are continuing to produce players of their own, like Stephen Davis. Liam Ridgewell, of course, has come through the same year in the youth team, a team that won the FA Youth Cup. It's back in 2002. And Luke Moore, who's a substitute today, was also in that side. Bakker. Chase down anything he can, but just slipping over there. Has been a little bit of rain falling in the last hour before kick-off.
Certainly always a willing runner, isn't he, James Milner? I think very difficult for the wide players on both sides, really, to get involved in the match. It's very narrow, the way that Liverpool and Villa are set up. Not an awful lot of space in midfield, and because of that, the strikers at both ends have been starved of any real service.
Phillips can get back off the referee. Melberg. Mark Delaney, another recently restored to full fitness after missing a chunk of this season. Gerrard. Nicely angled by Xabi Alonso to Sissoko. Cissé's making the run. Gareth Barry just tucking in and making sure that he didn't get there before Sorensen.
Pull up a little bit there, Cissé. He's not moving particularly easily in the last 5 minutes or so. It's involved in a challenge with Ridgewell that he's looked a little bit uncomfortable.
McCann. Sissoko, who was involved in an incident in midweek where an opponent was sent off for an alleged racial comment in the direction of the Liverpool player. Risa has got World Cup playoff action to come later this month with Norway. Gerrard. Judge that better than Barry, who's just been able to reposition. Trying to get down the outside, he got there, but Gerrard slipped at the crucial moment of trying to deliver the pass, which could have opened up Villa again.
He lost his footwear, Martin, and Gareth Barry that just a little tug on Steven Gerrard. To be fair to the referee, and it's great to see that he's allowed Liverpool the advantage, because Gerrard was in a really decent situation, but it was a raking crossfield ball from Jamie Carragher that found his skipper on that right-hand side.
So now Gareth Barry is going to have to lock horns with Steven Gerrard with the burden of a yellow card to his name. Carragher. Here's Rita. Liverpool, of course, are a couple of games behind most of their rivals in the lower half of the table as we start this Premiership weekend. A win here would certainly, a couple of hours or so, take them into the top half. Aston Villa down in the bottom 5. Xabi Alonso. Morientes. There's Garcia trying to make it his. He has done. Gerrard trying to take it on the burst. The crowd from the Holt stand was a handball against the Liverpool skipper.
Certainly suspicion wasn't of a handball from Steven Gerrard. I don't think the referee gets a great view of this, but as he just forges his way into the box, clear handball. But that's the problem that Steven Gerrard will pose Aston Villa once he comes off that far touchline and just wanders across the front two. Very difficult to pick up.
He's made a run to the right and got the ball from Cisse. Here's Gerrard. He wasn't going for goal. He saw Luis Garcia coming in.
Well,
trying to pick him out.
I thought he might have pulled the trigger himself here. Cisse delays, and that just gives Ridgewell enough of an opportunity to get back and redeem the situation. But got opened up there again with the movement of Steven Gerrard coming in field. Good passing ability in that midfield area. They got Gerrard into a decent position.
A bit careless by Steve Finnan. Such a busy season generally for Liverpool. They may be behind in their Premiership fixtures, but this is their 22nd competitive game already. Ridgewell, who likes that diagonal ball with his left foot to the right-hand side. Milner is at the moment. He's swapped with Davis. He's forced the corner here.
He showed enough of it, didn't he, to reset. Allow the Liverpool left back to make a challenge, but that was better play when they have got into wide areas and opened Liverpool out. It looked a lot more effective, the home team.
Melberg got it down towards Baros. Sissoko. Left back Risa had tried to make an attacking angle. A long way away from his berth in the team.
Another opportunity
on the say-so of the assistant.
Yeah, another opportunity though, Martin, to get that ball into the penalty spot area. Get one or two bodies in there.
Liam Ridgewell, of course, scored his first Aston Villa goal on Monday at Manchester City. Gave them a sniff of a chance of recovery. No more. Reina hasn't always, in his short time in England, looked over-comfortable with balls played across him in the air. And, of course, he's now got senior competition. Jerzy Dudek available again. Of course, hasn't played since being the hero in the end of the Champions League triumph in Istanbul. Barry.
What Villa have had a problem with is when they are playing balls into the feet of Kevin Phillips. To be fair to either Hoopier or Carragher, they've actually gone in and challenged him and not made it easy for him to turn and try and thread little balls through to Baros.
Cisse cleverly done. He was off for the return ball, but it was not a good one from Morientes. Well, if he's had a bit of pain, Cisse, and we suspect he has from an early challenge here, he's doing his best to run it off. Stephen Davis is very confident on the ball. Bakker. Milner.
Not a bad ball, you know, but unfortunately Bakker couldn't really cover the ground to get forward from midfield.
Well, won by Ridgewell. Lost on by McCann, but Baros and Phillips were still making their way back. Luis Garcia. He's worked hard to keep it in after an average touch when the cross originally dropped. Milner. He's a hard man to get round Jamie Carragher.
Good defending, he knew exactly what he was doing there, in control of the situation.
You can sense the, if you like, the lack of trust in the team from the home fans.
You can pick up that frustration that they're all feeling here at Villa Park. The results haven't been great. A lot of stories coming out of the club about sort of potential takeovers.
Well, the supporters, probably rather than a takeover, want a makeover of the side, but that can't be done easily these days. We've got the restrictions of the transfer window, of course. David O'Leary has certainly been bringing in his own players bit by bit. He started with Gavin McCann, who he's got available again after his recent injury problems. Sorensen was his signing. And obviously, more recently, the likes of Baros, Milner. There are players like Delaney who've been here for a while. Mellberg. And I remember David O'Leary's first game, I think it was at Portsmouth. He left Mellberg out as if to say, well, I'm going to make a statement. And he might have thought about leaving him out from time to time since, but I don't think he's had the luxury of being able to get that sort of competition for places. Flag was up, lucky. And it was probably just as well for Mark Delaney.
He's very lucky, Martin.
It was given as offside.
Well, the linesman flags and clearly is offside, so, but Delaney here slips and then pulls Garcia back, and not that I don't think he would have got a red card, because I don't think it was a goal-scoring opportunity, but he definitely would have got a yellow if Garcia had been onside.
Milner. To take on. It's a great ball through to Baros, and a wonderful tackle by Jamie Carragher.
Top draw defending. Absolutely top draw defending from Jamie Carragher. You know, he really has been a model of consistency over the last 2 or 3 years, and converted successfully into a centre-back. And you know, the thing that impresses me is just the way that he reads situations. You know, he had no real right to get that ball from Baros. And Baros looked as if he was going to get on the end of a clever little ball from Milner, and then pops Carragher to make a very, very fine challenge.
Taking the free kick, but after the tackle he turned and I think laced into Javi Alonso, who had maybe sensibly turned his back and gone away from it.
Well, he was careless, wasn't he, in possession, Alonso? He gave the ball away.
And it's that sort of mistake that's been costly to Liverpool in away games, in the Premiership in particular. Had one away fixture this season. There haven't been too many of them. They've drawn at Middlesbrough and at Tottenham. They were 0-0. Here in Birmingham, at Birmingham City, 2-2. They needed a late penalty awarded by today's referee, in fact, Steve Bennett, to get that draw. And of course they've lost more recently at Fulham.
Identified Liverpool making mistakes, and you know, we've got two sides here that have been guilty of that this season, and it's one of the reasons why, you know, the game at the moment has been scrappy. Not an awful lot of room afforded to one or two of the so-called quality players, the technicians, the ones that can make a game turn very quickly with just an eye of the needle pass or a clever strike from distance.
Well, you Manchester United have had more Premiership wins over Aston Villa than Liverpool. Only Arsenal have scored more Premiership goals against Aston Villa than Liverpool. So today's visitors enjoy their trips down the M6 to Villa Park. Great fixture, and that's not a great challenge by Gavin McCann on Jon Anarisa. One-time Everton player has got a booking against Liverpool here.
He just showed enough of the ball to make Gavin McCann interested in making the challenge there, and how many times do you see that happen where a player lunges and doesn't get anywhere near the ball? You get the feeling though, Martin, if Liverpool can just step it up a notch or two, you know, there's a result here for them, and I think that if you ask a lot of Liverpool fans, they'd probably say that's been the story of their season.
Long throw nearly caught out Aston Villa in a manner which would have infuriated David O'Leary. Luis Garcia. Milner. Baros. Sissoko came in over robust fashion. The card is out again from Steve Bennett.
He had no alternative, had he? You know, he just previously booked Gavin McCann for a late challenge, and that's exactly what Sissoko is culpable of as well. So the referee showing that consistency.
Bakker. Variation from the free kick. If there was one message, I guess, to the Liverpool players about Milan Baros, their former colleague, don't let him run with the ball. He was setting off then, admittedly from a deep position. Alarm bells were ringing for Sissoko.
Well, at times you're not really sure what he's going to do next. I don't think at times he knows what he's going to do next, but he's a talent, still very young.
Winning it fairly. And there are 5 forward for Villa here. Liverpool just a little bit slow in getting their numbers up. But, they can come back now in droves to defend the free kick.
Two central midfield players there were the root of the problem. Initially Sissoko giving the ball away needlessly, and then Alonso giving away a silly free kick in a very promising area here. If the delivery is right.
Phillips! It very nearly was right.
That was a fantastic ball into the danger area. The one player you really wouldn't have thought would out-jump any defender would be Kevin Phillips, but he's the first to the ball. The likes of Houbier and Carragher and Rees are in there to deal with that situation, and arguably the smallest player amongst that group is the one that gets the header.
Barry. Phillips just eased Sissoko to the ground after the ball had gone. McCann. Davis. Bakker, and the flag goes up. And Baros is denied potentially a magical moment against the former club.
It's good defending this, because when this ball comes square from Davis, you can see that Liverpool back four, and everybody steps up in the line. And that's good defending. How many times do you see that happen, and one might just get left in and play everybody onside? That wasn't the case there. And you've got the likes of Houpier and Carragher within the mix there. Yeah, terrific defenders. We've seen that already from Carragher in this game.
Well, there have been periods already in which Liverpool have passed the ball around quite nicely. Maybe not quite at top pace for real penetrating play, but promising enough. And then 2 or 3 occasions when Aston Villa have just threatened the Phillips header, the Milner pass towards Baros that Carragher rescued And that wonderful challenge. And being pressed back and trying to turn Bakker, who fouled him. Risa. Xabi Alonso. Gerrard.
Once again, though, Martin popping up in that area where he's very, very difficult to mark. You know, I think the Villa side expect him to be on that right-hand side, and just occasionally he's coming in towards that midfield area and causing problems, especially when Alonso's on the ball, because he has the ability to pick out his skipper. Clever little through balls. Phillips.
Scored against Liverpool in the past for Southampton and for Sunderland. And he scored against most clubs in the past that he's played against. He's still got that eye for an opening. Tempted David O'Leary to bring him here. We're talking about players that David O'Leary has brought in. Kevin Phillips in that category, even at the age of 32.
He actually wanted to get him here when he raided Sunderland and took Sorensen and McCann. Unfortunately, he couldn't get the three of them. He eventually got him, but this game is just on the edge, isn't it? You know, we're yet to see it ignite.
Amongst the Liverpool substitutes today, Harry Kewell, for whom 2005, apart from starting the Champions League final, which he didn't finish, of course, has been a pretty lean year. His last goal for Liverpool was in this fixture last season, December 2004. It finished 1-1. He seems happy enough. He's going off to play for Australia in the World Cup playoff, away and home against Uruguay. Here's Davis. Liverpool have got that line out again.
Brilliant defending. Yeah, Kevin Phillips is he's telling Stephen Davis that ball's got to be played in a lot earlier.
Well, Cissé's timed his run brilliantly. He's in at Sorensen here. Best chance for Liverpool. And the goalkeeper got to Djibril Cissé and stopped the top scorer adding to his tally.
I know one of the goalkeepers absolutely furious. This is awful defending. Initially from really when Liverpool have the ball. No one puts Steven Gerrard under pressure. It's a brilliant ball. I'm not sure there what Gareth Barry and Liam Ridgewell are doing between the two of them, because they're both waiting for each other to deal with the problem. It's a good job the goalkeeper dealt with it.
Phillips. Now Baros. Milner getting in. Davis. Barry charging up on the left-hand side. Davis looking right. And finding Baros. McCann. Can't hit the middle of the ball at all.
Pulled the neck off it, but Thomas Sorensen. How an important save this could be, but just have a look at the defending there. I don't know whether Gareth Barry thinks that Cissé's offside, but Ridgewell clearly playing him on. And he waits a long time there, Cissé. The goalkeeper stays big. That's the most important part. The angles are good. That's a terrific save.
Header by Melberg. Here's Xabi Alonso. With the licence to roam again, even to go and get the ball. Carragher. The game's first really clear-cut chance. And thanks to Thomas Sorensen, Aston Villa have survived it. Delaney. McCann. So trying to time the run again, but the flank's gone up this time.
Tell you what though, Martin, you'll have a look at Ridgewell and Barry again. Very indecisive, you know, they're both looking at each other. You know, who's going to play him on, who's going to play him off, and as he plays that, I actually think he's onside there. He looks level with Gareth Barry, and that's 2 occasions now in the last 5 minutes that they very nearly got caught out.
I know Gareth Barry's been switched from left midfield, where he's played for much of this season, the left back, but he played for England at left back. And it's not as though he's being asked to do a job that he doesn't know too much about. Here's Phillips. And the Wales right back, Mark Delaney, wanting a free kick. And it's getting one.
The game's crying out for some width though, isn't it? And I think maybe the full-backs have got to join in. We haven't seen that much of Delaney on the right-hand side, Gareth Barry on the left. Looking for Liverpool, Finnan and Reset.
Coming up today at 5 o'clock on Sky Sports 2. Portsmouth against high-flying Wigan. Sky Sports 2 at 5. Although a words exchange between Steven Gerrard and Mark Delaney at the other end of the pitch. And Delaney tried to claim a free kick that Gerrard thought would have been a pretty soft response from Villa's point of view. Emery starts with the goal kick. And with 10 minutes left in the first half.
Great defending again from Jamie Carragher. You know, he knows all about Milan Baros.
I don't know whether the flag was going to go up then. If so, it was Liverpool who had a let off his Cisse. Headed out by Melberg. Davis. Bakker. Played it under challenge from Xabi Alonso. Carragher. Good tackle by Bakker.
Great challenge, isn't it? Great challenge. The game's just starting to open up.
Xabi Alonso as well.
Just beginning to open up a little bit more. And just look at the space now that seems to be appearing around the pitch. And so it's a good thing for the game.
Morientes. Losing out to Melbourne. Aston Villa show that they're capable of winning the ball further forward. And Baros had an easy ball onto the right-hand side. To be fair to him, had he accomplished the reverse ball, Phillips would have been clean in at goal, but it didn't work out for Milan Baros there. Davis. Oh, it's deflected off Herpier.
Well, they're furious, the fans, because the referee's assistant only put his flag up very, very late, but there's certainly a deflection off a Liverpool player here. This ball's looked to play through. He's definitely in an offside position. Kevin Phillips.
The pass was aimed for him, so I guess the same passage of play.
Yeah. And the thing is, the referee's assistant, this is what makes it very difficult in the eyes of the fans, is they're not allowed to put their flag up until that player gets possession.
Davis. McCann. He caught Xabi Alonso sleeping. That's amazing. Offside given. The ball didn't actually go into the Villa half. So there's another interpretation on it.
Exactly. It's totally opposite from what we've just seen.
Absolutely. But Liverpool attacking with some gusto here. Cisse has had one good chance already in the half. But he's a bit hit and miss, and Rafa Benitez hasn't really nailed his colours to the Liverpool mast. Cisse's. Rumours about Cisse leaving Anfield in January.
What he has done is just changed the formation a little bit now. He has given Steven Gerrard a licence to come inside. Cisse's gone over to that right-hand side and trying to use his pace against Gareth Barry, trying to hold a high line Aston Villa. So if they can get that ball in behind, you'd fancy Cisse's chances get on the end of it.
McCann. Sissoko. It's a strange mix this first half of some good things both teams have put together, but the uncertainty that Aston Villa have with their form generally, and the uncertainty that Liverpool certainly have with their away form in league matches and any games on weekends after midweek European action.
It's almost mirrors their two seasons, isn't it? That inconsistency.
Risa. Xabi Alonso, Gerrard. All the potential that comes for Liverpool when he's in possession. Hurpia. Finnan wanting some movement from Cisse. He got the movement, and couldn't clip the pass, couldn't put the backspin on the ball.
Just to see what Villa do to try and counter-attack. The fact that Liverpool have gone to almost 4-3-3 now. Garcia wide on the left, Cisse wide on the right, Morientes down the middle. Gerrard given that just that free rein to play just in front of Sissoko and Alonso.
Didn't give it very long, did he, at 4-4-2?
No,
Rafa Benitez to
I think he's desperate to get
that
this
he doesn't
fella.
really believe in it away from home.
He's desperate to get this fella, Steven Gerrard, in the game more. That's the problem, Martin. You know, when he's playing wide on the right-hand side, and if you haven't got decent possession, it's difficult to get him into the football match unless he goes and wanders, as we saw on occasions. So I think he's now given him the chance to get more involved in this game.
Morientes. Gerrard booming the ball right again. He underhit the last one. He certainly wasn't going to underhit that one. And Cisse has fought and won the battle with Gareth Barry. There was two Liverpool players who were rather standing and admiring Cisse, and he's saying, come on. And I think he's entitled to say that.
He is, and Gareth Barry at times has found this game a little bit uncomfortable as a left-back. You know, he really doesn't deal with this when he should do. You know, Cisse gives him a chance there, and then Gareth Barry just thinks that he's going to shepherd the ball out of play. And this is where he's hoping one of his teammates is just going to take a gamble, and Morientes is certainly guilty of not really giving him an awful lot of movement.
Yes, it's strange. Morientes has got such a fabulous record, 100 goals for Real Madrid. That is a terrific achievement in anyone's money. 26 goals, is it, for Spain?
Great pedigree. It's another one that the jury's out on, and you can probably level that accusation at 4 or 5 of these Liverpool players.
Referring to the World Cup playoff games later this month, and Alonso, Luis Garcia and Morientes named in the Spain party for their attempt to qualify for Germany 2006 via the back door, if you like. Hurpia. Redcross only cleared it to Cisse. Looking for Gerrard, Sissoko, Xabi Alonso, Luis Garcia. And Gerrard is given offside at a time where you feel a goal, if Aston Villa were to concede one, it would have a shattering effect on David O'Leary's team.
Well, it was a late flag, but clever little play from Garcia as he chips that ball into the danger area. There's again Steven Gerrard just looking to wander around and trying to find some space. Too far from being onside, to be fair to Gerrard.
The hands hands on Baros. He thinks he dropped to his knees. Steve Bennett lets the game go on, and again when Davis makes a totally legitimate challenge. Bakker misjudged by his fellow countryman Risa. And Bakker deliver here late in the first half. For Milan Baros, it's just too high for him. It drops to James Milner. And runs off the arm of Xabi Alonso. Barry. McCann. Well, it's a bit of a ricochet that's come to Milner. And Carragher vigilant as ever.
Well, that's better, isn't it, from Aston Villa? No real surprise. It was because they got into those wide positions.
Deflected cross from Barry. Half cleared by Gerrard. Back by Mellberg. Then Carragher. Mellberg will go again here, but he's palpably beaten by Sissoko's height. McCann.
It's no more than a half chance, is it? Not renowned from scoring raking goals from 25-30 yards, Gavin McCann. Just have a look at the lack of space in there. There's so many bodies, and I think Gavin McCann thinks, well, why not? I'll try my luck from distance. A long way wide.
It'll be 5 years in February since Gavin McCann so far won England cap. It's Sven-Göran Eriksson's first game here against Spain. Had a piece of that. Well, just moments. There have been moments in this match where you can see why he was picked for England.
He's a little bit unlucky, hasn't he, over recent years with injury, to be fair to Gavin McCann.
Just 1 minute to go of added time. Thomas Sorensen save from Djibril Cissé, undoubtedly the moment of the half. So a good comeback from that injury in the warm-up on Monday. The City of Manchester Stadium. It's actually a back problem caused by going over on an ankle. Phillips, Baros.
He's unlucky, isn't he? Milan Baros. You know, it really gives you great endeavour and energy up front.
It's a decent first-timer from Morientes. Showing that though form might be temporary, class is permanent. Yeah, in danger of losing the ball then. A little bit to debate at half-time. Thomas Sorensen with a superlative save, left one-on-one as Cissé advanced. And Jamie Carragher with one terrific tackle on his old mate Milan Baros, but some wonderful work at the back throughout this first half. Part of the reason...
Don't know the reason why. You know, I mean, he's in a good team, well, a goodish team. He should be scoring goals, he should be looking as if he's scoring goals, but Liverpool have dominated possession in the first half, but not a lot of creativity in the box.
And you want to see them up that tempo in the second 45,
yes,
don't you?
I think their passing is good, but it's a very slow tempo. They've got to really up the tempo a lot more if they've got to capitalise on their possession.
And just about everything has gone through that man. Let's rejoin Brian Marwood and Martin Tyler.
Yes, Marcus, it's his 300th game for Liverpool. I guess we'd be talking 400 plus, up for the injury problems he's had earlier in his career. And England fans will be hoping he gets through this second half and can take part for England next weekend when they play Argentina in Geneva. Well, Steve Bennett and the players are ready, but some flag wavers on behalf of some local sponsors still on the pitch. Like the old days when you couldn't get the marching band off at half-time.
Couldn't get the tombola drum.
Well, serious business afoot now for these two teams in the second half. Been a fair bit of sparring in the first period. Precious few real chances. But the boost that a victory brings been much needed in either camp here. The showers before kick-off have given way to some afternoon sunshine in the West Midlands. The half-time team talk has been delivered. Maybe one or two cases translated. McCann. Sissoko was in strongly. That's very much his game. Morientes. Cisse starting the second half as he finished the first on the right.
That was an interesting one for me because the referee's assistant initially didn't flag for a free kick. Gareth Barry then clearly handles the ball.
Cisse chases again, and Ridgewell's touch only takes it behind for a corner.
Well, the pace that he possesses is always going to be a threat, Martin, and it's whether you can exploit that pace. You know, getting that ball in behind Gareth Barry could well be the key to any success Liverpool might just have here.
Well, the only away goals that Liverpool have scored in the Premiership this season have been in the city of Birmingham against Birmingham City. Diverted away by Delaney. Phillips helps out as well. Baros just ran underneath the ball. Barry. This air of uncertainty around the stadium continues at the start of the second half. Sissoko. Morientes gave it away once, has lost it a second time. Peter Crouch will be thinking, I'm going to get on here.
Look how congested it all is, though, Martin. I think that's been the problem throughout this game. There's not been an awful lot of room for anybody to really operate in.
It's unusually misjudged by Gerrard after Risa had tried to introduce a bit of width with an extravagant switch of play. McCann. Thought he might have got there and thought better of it. Milner. Davis. McCann. Trying to slide it through for Baros. Here's Sami Hyypiä loping into midfield.
Well, that was better defending that time, but I think when you've got somebody at the pace of Cisse, and if he's got that much space to run into, you've really just got to look to play this ball a lot earlier than what Sami Hyypiä decided to do. That's when he needed to play. And once he'd made that run, he has to check back, and that was better Villa defending that time. It was a decent line. It was enough to catch him offside.
Aston Villa have lost their last two home games in the league, to Middlesbrough and then to Wigan. Here's Garcia staying down. It's a Villa free kick.
Quick to signal, wasn't it, Garcia to the bench, that he was in trouble here. Just, both players, you can see there, Delaney just catches the back of Garcia's left knee. And that's the damage that I think is being done to the Spaniard. The calf as well that's been affected, and don't want to lose him, not in a game such as we've got today, because it has been scrappy, and sometimes you need, you know, your better technical players, and Garcia's one of those that might just spot a pass or be able to deliver something that...
Well, nick a goal himself. He scored a wonderful goal on Tuesday.
Yeah, great header, great header. He had no real right to score with that header.
And he knew exactly what he was doing. And he glanced it on to such excellent effect. And he's maybe destined to return, flexing that calf muscle, but without him Liverpool have got a free kick to defend that wasn't tossed in, and now comes in from Milner, and it's veering all the while towards goalkeeper Reina. Finnan keeping it away from Barry, and there's no flag here. Cisse, Morientes in the middle. Cisse looks for him. Nearly dropped Morientes' way. Gerrard. And it's taken away from him by McCann. It was an important figure there for Aston Villa in the end.
Well, it's Delaney really that's the culprit that plays Djibril Cisse onside. And once again, you know, if Villa are going to allow that space for Liverpool players to run into, you know, then one of these runs that they will get right. And
Luis Garcia is back on, incidentally. Sissoko.
Well, I just think that Cisse needs to make the right option, and he fails to do that, really. You get a lot more joy, though, down this right-hand side. Just have a look at Delaney at the top of the picture. He's the one that plays everybody onside, and once he's in this position, Cisse, you know, it's always going to be a difficult ball to try and play Morientes in. And Steven Gerrard is just coming behind the play, and he just needed that ball rolling into the path of the Liverpool skipper.
It was Djibril Cisse who scored both goals the last time these two clubs met at Anfield at the end of last season. Liverpool won 2-1. It's 0-0 here, still in the formative minutes of the second half. It's been a somewhat tentative tussle, if that's not a contradiction in terms. Nothing tentative about the way Milan Baros gives chase. Aston Villa were unlucky with him. He had this Achilles tendon problem, and then the Czech Republic played him when David O'Leary thought that they wouldn't. He came back with the injury worsened again, and they've had to wait until today to have him in action.
What didn't help was he had an injection as well to try and mask the pain, and that really caused further damage.
I thought those days had gone. Herpia. Finnan. Morientes wanting it to feet, but Finnan across to Gerrard. Back to Sissoko. Crash one wide a couple of minutes ago. Cisse, it's out.
Well, they have carried the greater threat, haven't they, Liverpool? There's no doubt about that. Cisse looks a better player. A far more menacing option for Rafa Benitez's team now on this right-hand side. It's whether they can get enough ball out to him to be a threat against Gareth Barry.
Xabi Alonso knew exactly where Risa was. Ridgewell judged it well. Phillips. Now Davis. Steven Davis going to get it back from Baros. Bit of a catchweight contest against the size of Sissoko, but Davis enjoys those sort of tussles, as you'd expect from someone who represents Northern Ireland.
Well, he's gritty, he's determined, and he's arguably being Aston Villa's best player this season, Steven Davis.
Up comes Mellberg. In towards McCann.
It was a difficult one to take on, wasn't it? I mean, he found himself a little bit of space. He only hits this hard and low and just skips up in front of him. I mean, no one's really picking up Gavin McCann there.
Well, Liverpool may well go on and win this game, but we're still in this position where they don't seem to know the language of the Premiership quite as well as the dialect of the Champions League, of the European scene, which is being successful again in the season's group. No, that job is not yet completed. Delaney. Baros can only take it back into trouble, but he kept on going. Went for Davis, who again tried to add a bit of urgency, or a bit of confidence, really. I think it's a lack of urgency deliberately by Aston Villa. Certainly a lack of self-belief. They've lost 4 of their last 5 in the Premiership. Cisse. Knocked away by Melberg. Phillips trying to worry a mistake out of Herpier. Steve Bennett calls that even.
It's a little bit unfortunate, isn't he, Kevin Phillips, just trying to put his body into Herpier and trying to just work a little bit of space for himself.
Risa. Gerrard able to turn. Luis Garcia maybe not at full pace after the injury earlier in the half. Cisse. Suzuka. Aston Villa again, not really decisive in working the ball forward. But when it's hit forward like that, it will come straight back. No cause for celebration yet in David O'Leary's 100th game in charge of the club. It's Rafa Benitez who's going to make the change, though. Out of Einsenden, who scored against West Ham. Replaces Luis Garcia, who has had to give in to that injury. Einsenden a capable replacement.
Certainly go like for like, won't they? He'll play on that left-hand side, and you get the feeling, though, that if one side is going to win this football match, it's going to be Liverpool. They've carried the greater threat in this second period. They're content to carry on playing with this sort of high line. Delaney, Ridgewell, Melberg and Barry. They're quite happy to leave a lot of space in behind.
Gaining a bit of illegal ground. Read by Ridgewell, but he wanted too long, having got to the ball quickly. Zenden was the nuisance to Liam Ridgewell, and it's Liverpool throw. And Ridgewell has chanted on about this. Messages, I think we only need one referee, and it's not you. Sorensen going for it, not getting there. Not quite sure what was behind him, and it's Morientes, and Sorensen just about makes up for it. It would have been another of those soft goals that David O'Leary has been berating.
Well, it was a real lapse of concentration, because it's just a hopeful ball from Risa towards the far post, and Sorensen clearly misjudges it, whether he thinks the ball's going to drift out of play. But fair play to Cisse, he keeps it alive, and in the end it's a decent save from the keeper.
Cisse again. But what Thomas Sorensen has done here, he's encouraged Liverpool again, Bahia, and the error a moment or two ago.
He just seems to take his arms away, thinking that maybe the ball has gone out of play, and Morientes does well, really, to get any decent strike at goal. But he hasn't really got enough power behind it to trouble the Villa goalkeeper.
Melberg. Still more than half an hour to go. Liverpool calling the tune here without being in perfect harmony. Xabi Alonso. Carragher radiating commitment again, but couldn't quite drop it where Cisse was trying to get to.
Let's see what they're trying to do, though. Jamie Carragher delivering that ball into space in behind Gareth Barry. Barry at the moment's not quite sure whether he needs to match the runs of Cisse or just try and step out and play him offside. It's a big risk, we've seen that already. Cisse managing to stay onside.
It's a strange position Cisse's taking. I mean, he's not right of a midfield, is he? He's sort of right. And Morientes is in the middle, and then there's the midfield behind the two of them.
Yeah, it's clearly a 4-3-3, and Steven Gerrard has just got the opportunity to just roam around wherever he wants.
Cisse's more confined to this part of the pitch. He can gallop, though. Steven Gerrard's actually yelling across at Cisse, who's looking a little sulkily at the spectators. He's wondering. We know what the captain thinks. He wears his heart on his sleeve. But Cisse, 10 goals this season. Why am I out on the right-hand side?
Well, because he's a threat there. That's the reason why he's out on the right-hand side. And at the moment, very nearly paying dividends.
Kevin Phillips off. And Pablo Angel on. Angel, who wasn't involved at Manchester City on Monday, he was ill. The virus out of his system. And a bad run needs to get out of his system. He's not scored this season. Down goes Baros.
Alonso's claiming that he took a big dive. That's the reason why Baros.
Me?
He's having to justify himself.
Last time they got a free kick, they didn't play the ball in straight away, Aston Villa, but they're doing it this time. It's too high for Melberg, though.
Not many chances coming their way, is it, Aston Villa? So I really recall Rayner, certainly in the second half, having too much to deal with.
McCann. Has had a very quiet time of it at Villa Park. It's really up to Aston Villa as the home team, the team trying to push their way out of trouble. So maybe play with a bit more conviction in the last third of this match.
Short confidence, Martin, that's the problem. I mean, you know, the results have taken its toll, and there's not many players really that are playing the best of their game.
Here's the new arrival, Angel, that the flag is up.
A flick here from James Milner that catches Angel in an offside position, and clearly is offside. Is no reason for him to argue with the referee, but I think Liverpool will be kicking themselves, Martin, if they don't come away with 3 points, because I think they've been the better side. They've been more measured, been more controlled, and they've carried more of a threat.
They are against one of the leakier defences in the Premiership. Sorensen tidies up. And at the moment, it's a plus for David O'Leary that his defence that he led the criticism of hasn't conceded here.
They're hanging on. A mixture of luck, some good goalkeeping, and one or two good pieces of defending. Not happy, the goalkeeper, because he wanted that playing back to his right foot rather than his left. It's part and parcel of being a goalkeeper these days. You have to deal with situations like that.
Morientes. Xabi Alonso. Now Risa. Been periods in his time at Liverpool, and you'd look to Risa as a possible way to decide a match like this. He's not scored since the Carling Cup final in February.
He hasn't been overly adventurous today, has he? I mean, he does like to get forward on that left-hand side. He just pack a punch with his left foot, can deliver useful balls into the box, but we haven't really seen him much of an advanced area.
On his record is a winning goal on this ground. Finnan. As you say, Brian, if they don't find a goal from somewhere, Liverpool, we'll look at this as a wasted opportunity, I think. They would have thought that coming here, and also the way the game is shaped up. Gerrard's cross. Barry told by Sorensen that he can take a measured piece of control on his chest. Needed to be cushioned properly, though, and it was. Barreling into Liverpool players from Baros. Zender. He's given it away, and it's the nature of the match at the moment.
I just think with the amount of possession that Liverpool have had, you know, they should have done better than what we've seen so far. And Villa haven't looked a particularly confident outfit. At times they've They've defended in great numbers, but they haven't offered anything in an attacking sense. I've seen a few Liverpool games this season, and you know, this is a frustration, I guess, of the Liverpool fans. You know, they see a side that are capable of certainly registering more victories than what they've seen in the league so far.
When they see an opponent here, the Liverpool fans see Aston Villa very, very short of any sort of belief. Eric Bakker, who's entitled to be a bit ring rusty, he's hardly played over the last 12 months or so, putting it out unchallenged. Prem Plus regulars might recall this time last Saturday, we got a very late winner at Wigan. Baros comes out to McCann. Angel onside. Still Angel. Oh, he could have rolled it to Baros. Maybe he didn't see him. Here goes Barry.
It's the first time really the fans have had something to shout about in this second period, and what a great opportunity that fell to one Pablo Angel. In fairness to the goalkeeper Reina, you know, he gets off his line very quickly, closes down the space, and I think that surprises the Villa substitute.
Here's Milner. Well, he thought he was going to open his account for the season.
Well, I think the key here is the goalkeeper. It's a great ball from Ridgewell. They just go to sleep a little bit here at Liverpool. They think the ball's going to run out. It's a great block from Jamie Carragher. And when that ball's held back in, you know, Steve Finnan's not really doing an awful lot there. And there's the key to the big moment there that Angel has. Reina very, very quickly down at his feet, makes a good save.
Milner. Good crossfield ball from the Colombian. Delaney. Now Barry. Shot was speculative. There was good movement just from the centre, slightly to the left from Angel. So at the three-quarter mark in the match, enter Peter Crouch.
It certainly gives him a different option now, doesn't he? Morientes, who has been on the periphery of this game, hasn't really been a threat. Peter Crouch is searching for that elusive first goal, but you know, there'll be an opportunity now for Liverpool if they want to go a little bit more direct.
Aston Villa paid over £5 million for him and moved him on a couple of years later to Southampton. Here's Baros.
Oh, all of a sudden they found a little bit of belief, haven't they, the home side? Last 10 minutes they've just upped the tempo of their particular game, and they look far better for it.
And just to remind you what the noise levels will be if Aston Villa could put the ball in the Liverpool net. Barry. Ridgewell. And Reina can get there first, clear quickly. But just clear to his opposite number.
It was a nice idea, wasn't it? He knew that Cisse was up there against a couple of Villa defenders.
Angel has made an impact quickly. Here's Bakker. Angel charged down by Carragher. Not any appeals from the fans, let alone the players.
Great block, isn't it, from Jamie Carragher? All of a sudden now, it's Liverpool back for having to withstand a little bit of pressure.
Well, this last 20 minutes could well be the best part of the match. Sweden hasn't got much to beat in that respect. Here come Villa again. Ankel, the third man wanting to be in the move, Baros, having not spotted him a couple of minutes ago. This time he did, but couldn't find him. Gerrard. The more Aston Villa open up, the more it might suit Liverpool. A bit more room to play in. Gerrard. Cisse. Crouch on the gallop, and he is able to keep it in. Zenden making a run towards the near post. Gerrard! It's a fantastic save by Thomas Sorensen from Steven Gerrard.
Well, he saved his football team today, Thomas Sorensen, and if they are to get anything out of it, it could be a big, big thank you to Thomas Sorensen. Peter Crouch times his run to perfection, and then when you're looking for the right sort of delivery, he does that. And Steven Gerrard is one of the few players on the pitch who really could have converted that chance. But it's a fabulous save.
Here's Baros. Really trying to let himself loose at Liverpool. So pleased that he was past fit to make his comeback today against the club that he's played for in the Premiership this season. Here's McCann. And there's no offside here, and it's Davis. And Baros. And the goal roar dies in the throats of 30,000 or so Villa fans.
Well, a decent first touch there, Martin, by Milan Baros. And that's a goal. They run out this Liverpool back four, and Stephen Davis is clearly in an onside position. Reina tries to dive at the feet of the midfield player, and that's where the touch let him down. It just given enough encouragement for Alonso.
Davis.
It's the same game that we've sat through.
Told you it would get better. Just a few moments after that brilliant piece of work by Sorensen, it did seem that Milan Baros was going to Aston Villa here what Darius Vassell did for Manchester City against Aston Villa on Monday. Reina, that's where he doesn't always look quite the real deal. He's a very fine goalkeeper in most respects. Well, Sorensen has been superb in keeping out Steven Gerrard in this Liverpool attack.
That's a great strike, isn't it, from the Liverpool skipper, and there's not an awful lot for him to aim at. He sees it late. He's got a lot of pace on this strike. That's a wonderful save. Really is a wonderful save. He's a mixture, isn't he, at times, Thomas Sorensen. We saw him come for a cross that he let go behind him, and he very nearly got punished, and then he's come up with two great saves that's kept his side in the game.
But that save, not just getting to the ball, but having the strength in the arm to deal with the power in the shot, stop it just rolling in behind him into the net. Crouch eager to please, as you would expect. Gerrard. Zenden. It's Crouch!
What a chance. What a chance. If you want to break your duck as far as Liverpool, Peter Crouch, you're not going to get a better opportunity than this.
And suddenly there are chances in a game that was rather a lame duck until the last 10 minutes or so. Milner worrying a throw out of Liverpool for Aston Villa. Davis headed out by the worthy Carragher. Baros. And what we've got now is two teams who can believe they can win this game and just rather see it through.
Well, there were two sides that were devoid of any ideas, really, certainly in front of goal, but what an opportunity this is to Peter Crouch. He's there, he finds himself between the two centre-backs. Only the goalkeeper to beat. He's only 6 yards out, and he plants a header straight down the throat of the goalkeeper.
Zenden. Gerrard took the dropping ball beautifully and then into Backer's tackle. Davis. McCann, been short of matches recently. He's short of support here. Carragher will see this off. Well, Harry Kewell is going to replace Djibril Cissé. Been a what might have been day for Djibril Cissé, particularly with that chance in the first half, and then in the second half when he's been working for the most part on the right-hand side and was giving Villa some problems without actually hurting them by setting up a goal.
He's going to change it tactically again. Rafa Benitez, he's certainly rung the changes as far as personnel and systems are concerned here.
Xabi Alonso. Zenden. Bounce was there where Zenden expected to see him, but this time he couldn't find him.
Well, what we'll go with now is Zenden on that left-hand side. Steven Gerrard will come back to the right.
Oh, it's back by Milner. And Sorensen not happy with the way he's been set up for his clearances by his teammates. Thinking that he probably deserves better, and I think he probably does. The calibre of a couple of the saves here. Zenden. So Zenden, Crouch, Kewell, three of the substitutes in the attacking third.
Plenty of options, but short of goals. Story of Liverpool's season in the league so far.
Well, one here at Villa Park might just be enough. Risa. Xabi Alonso couldn't keep it down.
I certainly fancy Xabi Alonso to hit the target. Great technical ability. Certainly give him a lot of room, don't they? Encourage him to shoot here. Aston Villa's not too many players in a claret and blue shirt closing down.
Have no alternative plans for Sunday afternoon. Manchester United meet Chelsea. Sky Sports 1 from 3. Say no more. Still 12 minutes to go between Aston Villa and Liverpool. Ball by Sissoko. Someone asking for handball. McCann. Got that wrong, but it still fell to a teammate. Quite enough pace on the ball to guide it on. Xabi Alonso. Kewell. Barry sticking to his man though. Akel for Baros. Again, Carragher just giving himself a yard. Eulogized about to Jamie Carragher today.
Absolutely.
I think it's been with justification.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant, Martin. You're right. You know, he identified Baros had some space to run into, and he just gave himself some time. And that time is so crucial when you're a defender.
Sissoko. Kewell. Not quite got his bearings yet. And pull back. I think there was much alternative for Steve Bennett.
Just saying you're not going to give me any alternative but to produce a yellow card. You know, poor tackle, then you pull the shirt of Angel.
Zenden. to enliven the left-hand side. Cal and Barry getting almost in each other's way, but there's Carragher again. About the only thing that he can't do enough of is score goals. Game 379, he's got 3. One of them was against Aston Villa.
I tell you, he's paid to defend, not score goals. He's done that immaculately here today.
That goal against Villa was in his first full league match. So he started as if he was going to offer a bit more as a threat in that respect. And it's stopping others that he's turned into just an outstanding professional. And he's had to hurry to clear there from Baros's raised boot. Crouch. Looked away from him by McCann. Melberg. It's a handball by Kuehl. And such is the nature of this game that one little incident like that could turn out to be decisive. Before Villa take the free kick, though, they're going to bring Lee Hendry into the game, making his comeback from knee trouble in place of Eric Bakker. Very much one of their own. Nothing worse than cramp we're hearing for Bakker. Melberg. Baros. Here is Hendry. Cut out by Risa. Hendry settles for the throw. And settles for allowing Delaney to take it. Davis. Liverpool, as they've done well for the most part, stepping out and forcing Villa back, and even if they'd let them in there, no one was going to get to the ball.
It's a disappointing end product, isn't it, from Melberg? They've had the moments, haven't they, Villa? Certainly in the last 20 minutes, and is there enough there to please the manager? Well, it'll be interesting to see what he has to say after the game, but he's just looking for some points on the board at the moment.
Well, getting a clean sheet is a starting point. It's often mentioned when you're looking to recover from a bad run. And that clean sheet's not in the bag yet. Crouch. Xabi Alonso making sure there was enough pace on his pass to reach Zenden. Crouch. Penalty. Ridgewell wrapping himself around Crouch.
Well, I don't think Ridgewell has to make this challenge, you know, because this ball's coming behind Peter Crouch. Zenden certainly offered a threat on that left-hand side, but when this ball comes in, you know, they're both at it. And I think Ridgewell is a little bit unfortunate there, because have a look at Peter Crouch there. He's also got hold of the Aston Villa defender, but all the referee sees is Ridgewell being the guilty party.
Well, Liverpool have got it. Now who's going to take it? The skipper is stepping up. Steve Bennett gave them a penalty, remember, at Birmingham, just across town here. That gave them a draw in a game in which they were losing. This could well give them a win. Gerrard does the job.
Calm and composed. What you'd expect from your skipper. They'll feel badly done by Aston Villa. And that young man in particular. Been a difficult time for him over the last few weeks. He's having to learn the hard way. But he really did slot it home with great aplomb. And I said earlier that Liverpool would be kicking themselves if they didn't win this game, because they've had the majority of the possession in the second period in particular. They came in controversial circumstances. It doesn't really matter how they come.
That Liverpool badge still means the world to Steven Gerrard. Well, he's scored the goal. It's his 10th of the season, incidentally. But Peter Crouch involved in it. And down he goes. Barry's challenge. That is another big decision for Steve Bennett. Crouch is looking across at the assistant for a bit of influence in the referee's ear, but that's not forthcoming. Zenden tracking back. Gareth Barry, who was booked in the first half. Finnan. Liverpool not settling for what they've got late in the game, and have probably deserved. Here's Kuehl. Zenden. Thought about cutting it back for Kuehl. He's looking for Peter Crouch. They're trying so hard to get him a goal, but he's been involved here. He was the player pulled down by Ridgewell for the penalty.
Well, as Gareth Barry comes across here, I think that's just a shoulder charge, and that's where Peter Crouch has got to be stronger. You know, he works himself into a decent opening. It's a clever ball from Steven Gerrard.
And Hendry gives it away. Crouch chasing. And Aston Villa now chasing the game with the 4 minutes or so that remain.
It's a tough time for him. He's going to have to battle his way out of it. He hasn't got the resources to change an awful lot as far as personnel.
He's given the most penalties in the Premiership this season. I know the season's not that old, but Steve Bennett does not duck the issue.
No, he doesn't. And it'll be interesting to see what he does see when this ball comes in the box from Zenden, because you know, Peter Crouch looks as if he's got hold of Ridgewell. Ridgewell's clearly done the same to him. But I think all that Steve Bennett does see is the Villa player committing a foul. And he's convinced enough to give Liverpool a penalty.
Carragher. It looks as though those splendid Sorensen saves are going to be in vain, but McCann hasn't given it up yet. He's losing out to Xabi Alonso. Kuehl. Here's Gerrard. Away by Ridgewell, the goalkeeper is coming. He probably could have got to the ball. They need to get it forward. Barry's lost out, and Liverpool look dangerous again. Kuehl. Good set of studs away, but he's in this time. Xabi Alonso, 2-0.
Well, Sorensen's been the saviour. You'd have to say he's guilty of a big mistake there. It's a terrific strike from Xabi Alonso. Villa at the moment have been all over the place since he conceded that goal. And it was a great challenge initially from Mellberg that keeps out Peter Crouch, because Crouch looked as if he was odds on when he gets the ball back in from Zenden. And Mellberg does brilliantly there. That's a terrific strike, and taking nothing away from what Alonso produces from the edge of the box. But really, the goalkeeper will look at this again and think, I should have saved this. But it's past him before he realises it. And if there was a controversial circumstances behind the first goal, then really, that strike from Xabi Alonso puts it now out of doubt.
Villa Park is emptying fast. They were in the contest for long periods, even though it was a case more of what Liverpool were failing to do than what Aston Villa were doing. But it's certainly now going to be 5 defeats in 6 for David O'Leary. And Rafa Benitez seems to have cracked it at last. A midweek European win and a win on the subsequent Saturday in the Premiership.
Do them all a lot of good. I mean, 3 on the bounce. You'll still know that there's an awful lot of work to be done, though.
Risa. Sissoko. Crouch. 3 added minutes. Well, no one would pretend that for 80 minutes this was the best of the Premiership. But one thing you do know about the game in this country, you get value for money. It goes right to the last. And it's been a late show from Liverpool. That is a throwback to the great Liverpool teams of the past. Any win achieved in the latter stages. Steven Gerrard took on the responsibility from the penalty. And then Xabi Alonso hammered home his chance and hammered a nail, a final nail in the coffin of Aston Villa today.
They certainly haven't been at their best, Liverpool, but they've done enough. And at times, you have to dig in. Things are not going particularly well. Show character, spirit, determination. Things that I'm sure that Rafa Benitez will talk about as far as his side goes, but there's one thing. I mean, a big performance from that man at the back, Jamie Carragher.
Well, Carragher's misjudged one, but with a 2-goal cushion, he can get away with it, and he's helped out by Risa. But what is going to help Aston Villa here? Badly short of confidence. That's been in evidence even when they were level for much of the game. Hendry. And they spotted that well, Rayner.
I'm sure David O'Leary will be challenging one or two of his players come Monday morning, Martin, that they're going to have to stand up and be counted. It's a difficult time. It really is. Their confidence is low. You can see that in their performance today. You can't feel sorry for yourself.
Going to spin Crouch's way. He made sure it didn't. It's about the only thing in the last 10 minutes that Liverpool have lacked is a Peter Crouch goal, and it hasn't been for the want of him being in the right position. He should have scored with a header. It looked as though he was going to evade Melberg's block. It was on the receiving end of Ridgewell's challenge for the moment that really has decided the destiny of this game.
Well, the penalty was a big moment in this game because Steven Gerrard did convert. It gave his Liverpool side confidence to go on and get another.
No offside here. Sendin has timed his movement forward, and he's good enough to get a dropping ball under control. Well, it is this first for Rafa Benitez in England, a midweek European win and 3 points the following Saturday in the Premiership. But for David O'Leary, precious little cause for cheer for his 100th match as Villa's manager. Like 95 and 96 and 98 and 99, it's ended in defeat. The goals from a Steven Gerrard penalty, which Aston Villa may well dispute in the after-match debate, and a second from Xabi Alonso. But around the bonfires in Birmingham tonight, the burning issue will be, what does the future hold for Aston Villa? Liverpool leave for the Northwest with 3 points. Final score, Aston Villa 0, Liverpool 2.
Thanks to Brian and to Martin. Yes, another miserable home performance by Aston Villa, but Liverpool moving in the right direction. Bottom of the table, Villa still in 16th place, just 9 points from 12. Remember, their worst start to a season for 35 years, and it's getting even worse. Liverpool began the weekend in 13th place. They've climbed 4. They're up to 9th, 16 from 10. They've still got a game in hand on some of the teams above them, so they could be nestling inside the top 6 in the not-too-distant future. More live football to look forward to from the Premiership this afternoon at Fratton Park.
Jamie, at last you followed up a good Champions League result with a good one in the Premiership.
Yeah, I know, it's something that everyone talks about. It's a bit annoying for ourselves. Really want to put it right, and that's the first time we've won away from home this season as well, so that was a first for us as well. So, we want to put this, obviously keep doing as well as we can in Europe, but we've got to, improve a lot in the Premiership, and hopefully this can be the start of a decent run for us.
What was the difference today, do you think?
Scored 2 goals and kept a clean sheet. I mean, we've kept a few clean sheets this season away from. We haven't scored, and when we scored a couple, we've conceded as well. So it's about getting the balance right, and you've got to keep it tight away from home. They had a few chances when it was 0-0 as well. So, fortunate enough for us to come out winners.
Stephen, what were your thoughts as you went up to take that penalty?
3 points. We've done okay on the road this year. There's been an improvement from last year, but without getting 3 points, and it was important that the penalty went away to put us on the road for 3 points.
Hence the 3 fingers to the Liverpool fans, yeah?
Yeah, it's been frustrating for them. They've followed us everywhere, supported us really well, and we haven't really delivered on the road, so it was nice to get 3 points today.
Was it a penalty, did you think?
I didn't see the incident, to be honest.
Jamie's nodding.
Yeah, I never see any incident. But, speaking to Peter, he said he was all over him, so I think it was good refereeing because he got the decision right.
Jamie, you thought he got it right?
Yeah, it looks as if he was trying to climb on his back. Yeah, what do you think now?
I'm asking you, I'm neutral.
I was further away, you've seen the replay, so what do you think?
Again, very neutral. Just tell us what you think this win will do. As you say, it's a first away win in the Premiership this season for Liverpool.
Well, hopefully give us more confidence away from home. We've done quite well away from home, kept a lot of clean sheets, which have turned into draws, but the main thing is to get 3 points, and especially when you're playing early kick-off, it puts pressure on the teams now, so no matter what happens, we can't obviously go down the table. I think we can only go up now.
Well, I can say certainly